Hi there, kids and parents. So, this week we are going to play around with the idea of water, or in this class. So, go ahead and take your crisscross seat, and we're going to start today actually with what's called chanting a word called Om. So I want you to just close your eyes for a few moments here and say that word out loud to yourself. Om. And make sure that you really keep on saying the sound. Om. Om. And then you can actually sing it if you want to. You can sing it along with me. So bring your hands in front of your heart and you can close your eyes and we'll sing it 3 times. And then I'll tell you why it's kind of a magical word. So take a deep breath in. Om. 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 So keep your eyes closed for a little bit here and just feel yourself breathing. Take some nice deep breaths in. Letting your belly come out when you breathe in and pulling it in when you breathe out. And puffing your belly out when you breathe in and pulling it in when you breathe out. So let's do 2 more breaths here. And then you can open your eyes. Hi. All right, so I promised I'd tell you about Om. So it is a word from Sanskrit, which is a different language. But the thing about Om, so when you say it, it almost feels like there's an egg in your mouth, right? Om, Om. And it has these wonderful things called vibrations that go along with it. And it encompasses a lot of different vibrations, which is really cool. So let's start off in table position, tabletop. So if you'll notice, this looks like a table right here. So you're going to put both hands on your mat and then both feet on the floor. And right now your back is straight, but what we're going to do is we're going to play around with arching your back, so lifting your tush up towards the sky, lifting your head just a little bit. And this pose is called cow pose. So if you want to, you can go moo. And then the next pose, you're going to arch your back, tuck your tush under, press your hands into the mat really strongly, and this is called cat pose. So you can say meow. But what you really want to do is you're going to move back and forth between these 2 poses. And you're going to breathe in your cow, and then you can meow, breathe out in your cat. And breathe in with your cow, and it's kind of hard to say moo when you're breathing in. So you might only be able to say meow when you do your cat. And breathing in and meow, breathing out. And one more time, breathing in and meow, breathing out. And then you're going to come back to just a regular tabletop. So your back is flat here. So, like a table, you can pretend that maybe a friend is having lunch or dinner on your back. And then you're going to bring your toes in together. And you're going to sit your tush back towards your feet. And take your arms way out in front of you. And bring your chest down towards the mat. And this pose, guess what it's called? It's called child's pose. This is one of our favorite poses in yoga. You can take your forehead down to the mat. It feels so good. So this is a good pose to just relax in. So just keep breathing in this pose. And then from here, you're going to come forward and come down onto your belly. So I told you we're playing around with water today, right? So we're going to kind of pretend like we're swimming on our mat or on our floor. So you're straight out on the floor. And then your arms, you're going to take them straight in front of you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift up, bring your arms back, inhale, and then exhale. Arms come forward. I'm going to do that again. Inhaling and exhaling. So you can even pretend that maybe you're in some water. And then maybe when you're breathing in, you're maybe lifting your legs up at the same time that you're lifting your chest and bringing your arms back. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen these water bugs. They live on the top of water and they kind of skate across the water. They're really cool to watch. And so this move kind of reminds me of that a little bit. We're going to do this 2 more times here. Great. And then you can place your hands down and come back up into your tabletop. And then we're going to come and sit down again. And this time, so how many of you have been to the beach, to the ocean? Yeah, I've been too. Yeah, it's lots of fun. And how many of you have seen crabs? Even if you haven't been to the beach or the ocean, how many of you have seen crabs? Yeah, so they move sideways, right? They're so funny. They don't move forward and back. They move sideways. So we're going to play around with being a crab right now, too. So what you're going to do here, and I'll show you from the side, how about, is you're going to put your arms behind you so that your fingers face your feet. And then you're going to place your feet on the mat. And then you're going to lift up. And you look kind of like a crab here, right? And then you're going to walk over to the left. Oh, like a crab. And you're going to walk over to the other side, to the right, like a crab. And walk to the left. And walk to the right. And parents, if you're doing this too, it's not so easy, is it? Walking like a crab. So one more time, and come back to the center of your mat and take your hips down. And it's probably easier for the kids than it is the parents. And then you're going to sit back up. And guess where we're going to come to again? We're going to come right back into tabletop position now. Yeah. So maybe here you can move back and forth. And then you're going to tuck your toes here. And we're going to do a pose called down dog. So you're going to lift your hips up, lift your tush up towards the sky, and press down through your arms. So it looks like your body's kind of making a V shape here. So you might have your heels lifted, or you might have them down. So this is this is like a big pose in yoga for us. We do it a lot. So it's a good pose to know. And then you're going to bring your right foot forward in between your hands. And you can take that back knee down to the floor if you want to. And then you're going to bring the right hand into, like, inside of your right foot. If you can see that. See how it's inside my right foot there? This is called lizard pose. So what do lizards look like? They're long and they move really fast and they have tails and they like to sometimes just to stick out their tongue. Nut, nut. Yeah, so you can get nice and long in your lizard pose here. I like saying that too. Lizard. Lizard. So you can keep breathing in this pose. And then you're just going to take that right foot back. Coming back into, what's this pose called? Tabletop. You got it. Totally. And then you're going to press up. Actually, let's press up into, what's this one called again? Down dog. Good job. If you see dogs, sometimes they like to do this, or they like to do like this. And this is called puppy dog pose. Let's do this one real quickly here. So puppy dog pose. So your tush is kind of lifting up towards the ceiling again still, but your knees are down. So it's basically like regular down dog. Yeah. So we're going to lift the hips up again and come into a regular down dog. And then you can bring your left foot forward in between your hands. You might have to scooch it up there. And you can take your back knee to the mat. Then you're going to wiggle your left foot out to the left a little bit. And bring your left hand inside that left foot. So this is lizard pose again on this side. You can do that thing with your tongue again. And just keep breathing in your lizard pose. And then from here, you can take that left foot back towards the middle again a little bit. And then bring your right foot up to your left foot. And we're in a forward fold now. Ah! Look at that. It's magical. And this pose is called Uttanasana. You don't have to remember that right now. But that's another word that's in that other language called Sanskrit, which is where we get the names for all these poses from. So in your forward fold, just imagine that you're like a rag doll. If you know what that is. So just let your arms go, let your head go. And for parents, you might have your knees bent a little bit here. And then you're going to lift up, reach your arms to the sky. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. And just close your eyes right here. breathing. And then you can let your arms down by your side. And what's this pose called? This is called mountain pose, Tadasana. Yeah, so you get to feel like a mountain, super solid. Great. So from here, I'm going to teach you a pose that's called Warrior Two. So you're going to take your left leg back and take that left heel down onto the floor. So see how the left foot looks like it's at the same angle as the back of your mat. So it's like the left toes are pointing that way and the right toes are still pointing that way. And then you're going to bring your right knee down so that it's right over that right ankle. And then you're going to lift up your arms. Oh, it's such a strong pose. And you keep breathing. So this is a Warrior Two pose. I guess it kind of looks like a warrior, huh? So then you can lift up, straighten that front leg, bring that foot so that those toes are pointing that way. And then you're going to take your other foot so that the toes are pointing that way. And then we're going to bend that leg. And you can bring your arms up again. So we're doing Warrior Two on the other side. Such a strong, strong pose. And then you're going to straighten that leg and bring both feet so that they're pointing straight forward again. Now guess what we're going to do? We're going to fold forward into a forward bend. So again, you can just let that upper body just hang down. Just hanging, hanging, hanging down. And then you can lift up. And then we're going to take this foot and take it pointing this way again so that the toes are pointing straight forward. These toes are pointing that way. And then you're going to reach out, this time with a straight leg. You're going to reach, 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 reach. And see if you can find the floor. If you can't find a floor, if you have a block close by, you can use a block or a book. But you might be able to find the floor. Or you can find your ankle. This is called triangle pose, Trikonasana. So see how my legs, and your legs too, look like a triangle? Perfect. And you can lift that up, bring those toes in, and bring the other toes out. Straighten this leg. And we're going to do it on the other side. So arms are going to reach out wide. And then you're going to go, 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 go. Down either to the floor with your hand behind your foot. In front is okay as well. Or bring that hand to your ankle. Either way. And then you're going to inhale, lift it up. Bring those toes so they both point forward again. But then from there, what we're going to do is take the toes so they point out just a little bit. Like if you have a mat, if you're on a mat, they're pointing to the corner of your mat. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. It's like pointing to corners. Yeah. And then you're going to bend your legs here. Oh. And this is called temple pose. So see how low you can get your tushy here. This one's kind of fiery, kind of hard too, huh? And then you can lift it up. And you're going to come towards the top of your mat again. And then you're going to bring that left foot up to meet your right foot. And we're in forward fold again, Uttanasana. I like saying those words like that. Uttanasana. And then you're going to lift all the way up, high, high, high again. Arms way up. Bring your hands to your heart. And you can let go of your hands. And then we're going to bring our arms up again. Inhale. And then exhale, fold all the way forward. And then you're going to step the left foot back. And guess what we're going to do again? We're going to do those standing poses again. So from here, you're going to take the toes, the back toes, so that they point to the side there. The front toes are still pointing to the front. And then you're going to inhale, lift it up into your warrior two. So however you need to get there, because I know when we're first learning things, it can be a little confusing. So you get there however you need to get there. It's all about play. Playing with these poses always. And then you're going to inhale, straighten that front leg. And this time we're going to go straight into triangle pose. Oh, I should have asked you guys what it was. What's this pose? Triangle pose. Yay. And then you're going to inhale, lift up. Take the front toes. Point them to the side. And now we're going to do that forward fold again. So inhale and exhale, fold forward. Breathing here. And then you can inhale, lift up. Then you're going to take the back toes so that they face towards the back of the mat or the room. Bend the front knee. Open out the arms. And what's this pose? It's warrior two. Yeah, that's right. And then you're going to inhale and straighten. So breathing in, straighten that leg, that front leg. And then you're going to exhale it into triangle pose. I forgot to ask again. What's this pose? That's right, triangle. Awesome. And then you're going to inhale, lift it back up and bring these toes so that they're facing kind of out a little bit. And then you're again going to bend both knees, bring your hands to heart center. You can even kind of rock back and forth. I look kind of like a samurai, right? We look kind of like samurais here, so you can kind of do that. Or imagine that you're moving the water with your hands here, or that your arms are water. And then you can bring your hands to your heart center and just stay still. And then inhale, come up. And then you're going to bring that back foot up to meet the front. And inhale up halfway. And then exhale all the way forward. Uttanasana. And inhale all the way up. Reach up really, really tall. So I'm going to turn to face you. Reach your arms up really tall. See if you can get taller. Oh, we might grow today. Well, actually, we're definitely going to grow today. Yeah. Maybe even take your hands on either side of your head and pull up a little bit. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. And then you can let go. So now you're going to press down through your left foot into the floor. And you're going to lift your right leg up. So this pose is called stork pose. So if you want to, you can kind of pretend like you're flying. And if you lose your balance, that's okay. I always like to pretend fall out of these poses because that's fun. So here, you can do your stork, and maybe your stork is diving and you might have to take your foot down, and then it's coming back up again. Oh, and maybe it's diving. Maybe it's diving for fish into the water, and it comes back up again, and then dives down, and then back up again, and dives down, and then it comes back up. Oh, and this is the steady stork. He's just standing in the water right now. So then you can take your right foot, so the foot that's lifted, and place it just above your knee, but make sure it's above the knee. Okay? And you want to keep your foot like this. So you're pulling your toes up towards your knee. So this is called a figure 4. Oh my. Right? So do you see why? Because our legs are in the shape of a figure 4. Sometimes it's a reversed figure 4. That gets a little confusing, huh? But you can also, if you want to, play around with taking your hips down a little lower. So see if maybe you can do that. And again, if you fall out, you get points. Oh, I get points. I fell. All right, so we're going to lift up and bring both feet together again. And then just find your yummy connection with both feet planted down into the floor. And then you're going to press down through your right foot and lift your left knee up. Raise both of your hands. So this is the stork just standing strong in the water. And then let's have the stork fly again. So he's flying, and then he's swooping down and getting some fish on this side. And then swooping down and getting some fish on this side. This is making me hungry. And then swooping down and getting some fish on this side. And then swooping down and getting fish on this side. And then he's coming back to center, and he's just eating his fish here. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And then you're going to take this top foot, the ankle here, and put it over your knee of the standing leg. And see how we have that figure 4 here again. And then you can, if you want to, start to lower your hips down. So make sure that you're having those toes are going towards the left knee there. And it's okay if you wobble, if you fall, that's fine. Just come right back into the pose. And then inhale, lift it up, and place both feet down. And you're doing so good. So good. So now we're going to do a pose called pigeon pose. And I don't know if it really looks like a pigeon or not. I don't know, but we can make pigeon noises while we're in it. So you're going to come back into a lunge. So your right foot is going to be forward and your left leg is back. And then you're going to lower the left knee down and bring your right foot down towards that left knee kind of. And then you can take the right leg down onto the mat. Does this look like a pigeon to you guys? I guess it kind of does. I can kind of see that. So what noises do pigeons make? Some people can do those noises really, really well and actually super sound like pigeons. I can do it like this. Coo, coo, coo. So yeah, what we're doing in pigeon pose is we're getting our hips nice and open. Now for most of you kids, your hips are probably already nice and open, but maybe not. So maybe this is helping out. But it's still a fun pose, even if your hips are open. But for adults, it's especially good, especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting. You know how we sit at desks a lot? Adults do? Parents? Yeah, well, that means we get to work on our hips. Great. You're doing so good. So then you're going to bring that back leg forward. And we're just going to switch sides. Okay? So the right leg is going to go back behind you. And that left leg, the left foot comes towards the right knee. It's not going to even get close to the right knee, but it's going to come towards the right knee. And then this left leg is down on the mat, on the floor. Cool, cool, cool. And pigeons don't swim, do they? No, they don't. We swam a little bit though. So then you're going to bring that back leg around and take it on top of the other leg. So your right leg is going to be on the bottom and your left leg is going to be on the top. And you want to try to get your knees as close to one on top of the other as possible. Now, for some people that might not happen, and if not, that's okay. You can just take a cross-legged seat. This pose, oh my goodness, guess what this one is called? It's called cow face. I think that's hilarious. So we have Gomukhasana, that means cow face, in that other language we were talking about called Sanskrit. And now we can do cow face arms. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but you're going to take your left arm up and then you're going to take it behind. So it's like you're touching your upper back here with your left hand. And then you're going to take your right arm, bend it, and take it to see if it can reach that other hand. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said. Okay, so let's try it again. Here we go. So you're going to take your right arm up I forgot that I'm mirroring you guys. Your right arm up and take the right hand towards the center of your upper back. So like right in between your shoulders there, just below your neck. And then your left arm is going to bend and come behind you and see if that left hand can find that right hand. And if not, and especially for grown-ups, if you want to grab a towel or a strap or something like that, you can use that in your right hand so that you can grab the towel with your left hand. So we have Gomukhasana arms and Gomukhasana legs right now. Cow face.